Blessed be everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking tarot with a tip on how you can read reversed cards. I always found reversed cards difficult at first and I avoided them for a long time. So I want to share with you how I have found a way around the difficulty of reading reversed cards. But before we do, I'm Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com, author of Crafting a Wiccan Path and the Confident Tarot Reader course, which I have going for half price until Boxing Day, the 26th of December 2023. So if you want to become a confident tarot reader, you want to do an intensive course that will help you gain that confidence as a confident tarot reader, have a look at it now because it is half price and it may never be half price again for all I know. So that's until the 26th of December. Link in the description field below this video. So when it comes to reversals, they can be tricky. And when you're reading intuitively, they can be a little disconcerting because when they're upside down, which is what reverse card meanings are, they're cards that appear upside down, sometimes they're just not making as much sense to the storytelling brain or to the way that we're reading the pictures or looking at the pictures. So it can be tricky. But there's a few different ways that you can address the problem. Number one, of course, is not to use reversed meanings at all. A lot of people don't use reversed cards. They focus more on the card placements and that every card in the deck can have a positive or negative meanings depending on how it's positioned and how it's juxtaposed with other cards around it. And so you can get a story that way. So you don't have to read reversed cards, but adding the reversals gives you a lot more to play with. It gives you more meanings for a start, and it can also help you understand where there may be some obstacles or blocks in the way. Now, reversed cards aren't always bad. They're not always talking about how things aren't working out. It really just depends on the card itself, and again, where it's positioned in the reading and how it's relating to the other cards around it. The first way you can think of reversed cards is, it's probably the easiest way, is to think of them as the opposite of the upright meaning. So if you get a card, for example, like the Five of Cups here, in the upright position, it is about loss, it's about grief, it's about having to let go. But if you notice that the character in this picture, and this is the Waite-Smith deck, that character's looking at what's lost. They're looking at the cups that have been spilled. They have their back to the bridge and they're looking down. They're looking very forlorn and they're looking at what they've lost. They're looking at what has been spilled. So if you were to reverse that meaning, it would be the opposite. And the opposite meaning can be they've turned around to see the cups that they actually do still have. They haven't lost everything. There's still 2 cups remaining. And they could turn around, take those cups, walk across the bridge to the home that is represented. So they haven't lost everything. So when this card turns up in a reading, you could see that maybe somebody has lost something. Something has had to be let go of, but there's still something remaining, and maybe the card is indicating that the person has left the grief behind. They have been able to move forward. They have been able to take up the new cups and move themselves forward, or that's a message that that's where they need to go. That's what they need to do. So that's if you're looking at it from sort of an opposite point of view. Another way to read reversed cards is that they're a blockage to the energy of the upright position. So if you're looking at, I'm just picking these cards at random, this is the 8 of Pentacles. So in the upright, the 8 is all about working hard, okay? Working hard towards your goals, working hard towards a line of study, creating something that's got a tangible outcome, a material outcome there. working away, hard at work. Your head's down, backside's up, and you're working away. It's a very positive card, particularly if you're a student. It's going to be indicating that you're going to be studying and probably working quite hard at study. So if you're wanting to get into a course or something and you're wondering whether it's going to be successful and this card shows up, it's probably going to be successful, but you're going to be working hard at it. It is a really lovely card because you're creating, you're the craftsperson, you're the artisan, you're the one who's making things happen. It's of a very grounded, tangible nature, and it's all good. But if that energy is blocked, so if you're looking at the reversed as blocking that energy, then that means that your ability to work hard, your ability to focus on your work, the ability to be able to create what it is you're wanting to create or study is blocked in some way. Maybe there's lethargy there, maybe you don't like working hard, maybe you're lazy, feeling lazy, or something is stopping you. It depends on the other cards, of course, in the reading, but it's blocking that hard-working energy. So you'd want to speak to the querent about that and tell them, what's going on. It seems that there's the potential there to be able to do a lot of work and to be able to build something, create something, but you're not doing it. Your heart maybe's not in it. Maybe you don't want to do it anymore. And find out a bit more information there, because this card is showing that that energy is being blocked. So that's one way to look at the card. Both of those ways do require that you know the meanings of the cards in the upright position. But even if you're looking at the cards and going more by what the pictures in the cards are telling you, you can still use those two methods by looking at the card in the upright position. What is that telling you in the upright position? What do you feel in the upright position? And then flip it around and then apply either the opposite meaning or how that upright meaning is being blocked and all the potential ways that it could be blocked. Another way to do it, and you may not be able to do this with every card in the deck. In fact, there may be only a few cards that you can do this with, but there's definitely some cards that will help you with the reversed meaning if you're wanting to go with the pictures on the cards themselves and utilize the artwork on the cards. And with the Waite Smith deck, the Hanged Man, for example, I'll put it upright first, is a really good example of how the image on the card can really help you with the reversed meaning. So in the upright position, you've got somebody there hanging by 1 foot. Often the meaning of this card can be delays. It can be that things are happening slowly. It can be that some sort of a sacrifice is necessary. Or it could simply mean that you need to look at things a little bit differently. Maybe look at things upside down or in reverse. Expand your horizons and your thinking about things, because this character is looking at things upside down, so they're seeing a different perspective. So the upright meaning can be all of those things. Or if you turn it so that it's reversed, he's no longer hanging anymore. He's actually standing on one leg. Okay, the image is there standing on one leg. So that means he's actually got a foot planted on the ground. Okay, it means that rather than hanging, so suspension, which can indicate waiting, this person's actually got their foot on the ground now. They're grounded, they've got their feet on the ground, they're actually almost ready to take off. Something's ready to happen. Okay, the time of waiting may be over and they may be ready to be able to just take that step forward away from the tree there and move forward. So it can mean that if you're looking at it from simply the way that the figure is in the picture. So that's another way that you can read the cards. And in different readings, you're going to feel whether you want to use any of those methods of reversals. So for example, if the cards here, for example, you've got the Ten of Wands. If it turns up reversed, you may instinctively just look at that card and go, you're dropping your load, you're dropping your burden. You're dropping the sticks. You're not carrying them anymore. Okay, because upright, they're carrying the sticks or stopping them from floating away is really what it looks like. in this case, they're just letting them go. They're letting it go, letting the burden go. So you could see that as the reverse meaning. You could see that as blocking, because in the upright meaning, it's kind of a blocked card anyway. So if you were to go to the opposite of that, and if you're blocking oppressive energy, then you're actually creating more freedom. If you know what I mean, it's the opposite. Or you can just go with the picture. And when you're doing the reading, you're going to use your gut instinct, your intuition, to determine which way you're going to go. And I often find that when you've got the cards in with other cards in a reading, you're going to see from the story that the cards are telling you that whether it is going to be just going with the pictures and seeing that, okay, this person's looks like that they've had, you know, a bit of a rough trot. They're carrying a lot of weight. They're carrying things maybe that they don't want to carry. They're feeling oppressed, and then that card comes up, and it's like, oh, but you're going to let it go, or you want to let it go. It depends on what position it's in, and the pictures are going to tell you the story. Other times you're just going to have to feel into, is this the opposite to what it would be upright? There's no harm in turning the card upright, to have a look at the card upright when you're doing the reading, to get a feel for the upright meaning, and then turn it back reversed again, so that you can tune more into, is it the opposite? Is it blocked? What am I feeling from this energy here? When you've got a spread and you've got the cards together, when there is a blockage of energy in the flow of the reading, you're going to feel it. So go with that. You're going to see that the card, whether it's reversed or not, if there's a card that's blocking the flow of the energy, you're going to feel that. So go with that. Go with what the energy of the reading is, where that's taking you, where the flow is taking you. You can still do that with a Celtic cross reading. You can do that with a more linear spread. Linear spreads can be easier to do that with, but it's all about the flow and where things are going. Is the energy going in this way? Is the energy going that way? Is the energy going from the middle out? All that kind of thing. And I teach all of that in the Confident Tarot Reader course. So if you want to give yourself a treat for the solstice or Christmas, it is half price up until Boxing Day, and it brings it down quite considerably, half price. It's in Australian dollars, so if you're in the US or pretty much anywhere else in the world, apart from maybe New Zealand, you're going to get it even cheaper, because our dollar is worth less than the US dollar. So you'd be paying, not only are you getting half price off, you're also getting an extra 30% off. So it's always a good idea for those of you in the US, or if you're using US currency, to buy in Australian dollars, because you are going to get a discount straight out of the gate. So the link is in the description field below this video for the Confident Tarot Reader. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I am Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.